What do we have in number 4? Well, we have our diphthongs, av or ow and I. Remember how these diphthongs contracted and became O and A, holem vav and sere yod. Well, we simply learned that it happens in an earlier chapter, but Ross didn't tell us why. But now you're going to know why. So think about the word for death. It's mavet. That's the word death. And this is how it looks in the absolute. Okay? Let's copy this. Now, where is my stress on mavet? It's on the first syllable. Okay? So if I were going to do a syllable division here, this would be the tonic syllable, right? Is it open or closed? It's open. And the vet is closed and it's post-tonic, right? Does one of these follow a standard syllable rule? Yes.
Closed and accent.
That's right. The second syllable is closed, and because it's not tonic, the tonic syllable is over here, it's post-tonic, it's not accented. It's closed and unaccented. Hebrew requires a short vowel. Is segol a short vowel? Yes. So this is following my rules. Okay? Now, I want to say the death of Moses. Not to be morbid or anything, but this is used in the book of Joshua. In the book of Joshua, it says, now after the death of Moses, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Now, if I want to put mavet in the construct and make it thing 1 in a construct chain, it'll have to come next to some noun number 2, thing 2. What happens to the stress on mavet? It's going to go away. And what's going to happen to the av, the AW diphthong here? Yes, it's going to contract and become a holem vav. Okay? So when that happens, I'm going to get not mavet, but mot. So the way to say the death of Moses is not mavet Moshe, but mot Moshe. Mot Moshe. Okay?
Does the segol have to go away because there's no consonant deleted?
Yes, because the vav is not functioning as a consonant here anymore, right? It's a holem vav. So mavet mot. Mot Moshe. Okay? Can you tell the difference between mavet and mot? If you learn mavet as your lexical form, then you know mot is a change from it, right? And it's the construct form is the one that changes, if there's any change to be had. Now, is there an ending on mavet? Nope. So there's no ending change. It's only the internal vowels that change here. Okay? So, what if we don't want to talk about the death of Moses? Let's talk about the house of Moses. That's a lot more pleasant, isn't it? So we'll write Moses down over here. And let's say bayit. Okay? Wow, bayit. Moses saw a house. Did he buy it? Ha ha ha. Yes, he did. Okay, so now it's the bayit of Moshe. Can I leave my I diphthong with the accent here in the construct? No. Contraction happens when we lose stress. And when this becomes a construct form, it loses its stress. So what happens to I when it contracts? What does it become?
A.
It becomes A. It becomes Canadian looking, doesn't it? It becomes sere yod. And it becomes a single long vowel, sere yod. Accent's going to go away, and it's Beit Moshe. Beit Moshe. So, Mot Moshe, the death of Moses. Bayit becomes Beit in front of Moshe, the house of Moses. Okay? You see how that works? All right. Let's move on. Again, this is nothing new. You already knew that nouns like mavet and bayit contract. You just now know why. Construct forms lose their accent. Okay, number 5. This is really exciting. This is more exciting than crack cocaine here. As if that were exciting. All right, what's going on in number 5? This is, well, I'm not even going to read what he says happens. Just check this out and see if you can follow the logic. Okay? Let's take this word baraka. You have seen it before. What is a baraka? It is a blessing. Okay, and that is the word blessing in the absolute or construct state. It is in the absolute. Very good. We don't want to just say a blessing. We want to modify the blessing with a construct chain. And so let's say the blessing of, I don't know, the blessing of, yeah, why not? The blessing of Abraham. That's used, right? So we have to add Avram for our absolute form, but baraha has to become the construct form. Now, what's the first thing we have to remember happens when a word becomes construct? It loses its stress, right? So whatever was the tone here is no longer going to be the tone. But let's go ahead and write the tone down. It was baraha, tonic, and this would have been pretonic, right? Presumably, the bet might have had a vowel, but it would have been open and propertonic, and it's become a vocal shiva, and that's the form you know as your lexical form, baraha. But now, we're going to lose the stress, and we're going to have to change first any endings that can change, and then any internal vowels that need to change because of the change of stress. Does Comet's Hay need to change to something as an ending? Yes, Comet's Hay is one of those endings that change. What does it become? Pathak Tav. Good. So Comet's Hay has to become, we'll go ahead and put this in red. Pathak Tav. Excellent. And then my internal vowels are going to have to change. And they're going to change depending upon what happens to the tone. So Avram is my second noun in the absolute. Where's the tone syllable? Av or Ram? It's Ram. Av is pretonic. Good. Now I'm going to treat this all as one word, so I can go ahead and make some syllable divisions here. The kat, is that pretonic, pretonic? What is this? It's propertonic, right? Yes? Tonic, pretonic, propertonic. Remember, we're treating this as one long word now. This is lots of stress. Stress is only here. Propertonic. It's open or closed? It's closed, right? I've added the pathak tav. It's closed. Closed and accented or unaccented? I'm sorry, can't hear you. It is unaccented. What syllable rule must it follow? The cusp syllable rule, which is closed, unaccented syllables require a short vowel. Do you know? There's a reason why we pick a pathak here. Because it's going to be closed and unaccented. It needs a short vowel. Right? Okay, good. And now this was this was pretonic. It's now propertonic. And it's open, right? So what do open propertonic syllables do? They reduce to a vocal shiva. Now you know that something exciting and wonderful is going to happen now. I've got a vocal shiva that the kamets became. But what was at the beginning of this word when I had the bet with the shiva at the front? That's vocal shiva. Can I leave two vocal shivas together? No. What is Hebrew going to do to resolve this problem? Red Rider problem. Yes. Now we get to apply that. And we're going to pick up our Red Rider BB gun and shoot out how many eyes of the first vocal shiva? We're just going to shoot out one. So no vocal shiva anymore. What's this vocal shiva going to do? It's going to become silent about it, right? So it now becomes a silent shiva. And then I'll be left with a closed syllable, right? And my kaf is a begad kefat letter, so with a silent shiva before it, it's going to get a dagesh laning. So it's bir kat Avram. So baracha became birkat. So say that with me, birkat. Birkat. Every time I hear birkat, it makes me think of a beer cat. A cat that drinks beer. I guess some people would think that kind of a cat would be a blessing, but I don't know. I would think cats are already ornery. Fill a cat with beer and make it a beer cat, and it's probably horrible. The opposite of blessing. Anyhow, a beer cat of Abraham is the blessing of Abraham. Okay, Birkat Avram. See, the changed to Ad, so we have a change of ending and a change of internal vowels too, don't we? That's clearly not the absolute form of Baracha. Okay, so it's the blessing of Abraham. Wasn't that exciting? How many things? We changed the endings, we changed the vowels, and we had to apply the Red Rider problem. And we added a dakesh, yes. Everything you've learned has come home to roost for us here. Okay. Let's take a look at anashim. Anashim. What is anashim? Good, men. So look at the way we spell anashim here. Anashim. That is a compound shava at the beginning, right? Anashim. All right. So what if I want to say not just anashim, which is the masculine plural absolute form, the normal form. What if I want to say the men of some place, like the men of Israel, or the men of Sodom, or the men of Tyre? How do I do that? Well, I'm going to have to add an absolute noun side by side next to the construct noun. So, well, let's just say the men of the city. Can we do that? Ha'ir. The men of the city. Just trying to think of a short word. Okay, so this is now going to be thing 1. This is going to be thing 2. Can I leave im when it's in the construct? Or is this one of those endings that have to change? It changes. That's right. It becomes what nationality? Canadian. Very good. So im becomes a. Very good. Here, we'll make that red. Im becomes a. And you always change your ending first, and then you go to the vowel pointing. Can I leave this vowel pointing like this? No. Let's go ahead and divide our syllables. We have ha-ir. Which one's tonic? Ear. Ha is pre-tonic. Good. There's my syllable division. I'm going to the next syllable. I have she. That is now propertonic. And na is propertonic. She is open. Okay? Open propertonic syllables. What would those things like to do? Yes, we would like to reduce that to vocal shava. But sere yod is historically long, isn't it? Can I reduce that anymore? Nope. And even if I did, it would obscure the fact that that's the Canadian ending, so I can't change it. Okay? But look, na is open and propertonic. Is that kametz a changeable vowel? Yes, that's not historically long. So what's going to happen here? I'm going to reduce this to a vocal shava. Now let me ask you a question. If I have a compound shava and a vocal shava side by side, is Hebrew going to allow that to happen? No, it's not. Now here's where something happens that you have never seen before. Okay? Because what you've learned in the past is this. When you have a word that has a vocal shava followed by a compound shava, right? What happens here? This is resolved by the Red Rider. What will the compound shava do to the vocal shava? Shoot out both eyes and replace it with whatever the corresponding short vowel of the compound shava is. So that's what we would get. Is that what we have here? No, this is the exact opposite. This was vocal shava followed by compound shava, and this is how it resolved. This is compound shava followed by vocal shava. Ross has never told you what to do with this, but it's actually quite simple. What do you think is going to happen? Will it involve a Red Rider BB gun? It will. It will. And in situations where compound shavas are involved, you always shoot out how many eyes? You always shoot out 2. The one on the left is always doing the shooting. So he's going to shoot out 2 eyes. And what's he got left? He's already got a vowel there. Guess what? Done. Done, 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 done. But my shava can't be vocal anymore, can it? Because I've got a short vowel to the right. When you look to the right of a shava, you see a short vowel. The shava becomes or has to be silent. So this is how I say the men of in the construct state. It's Anshe. Anshe Ha'ir. Anshe Ha'ir, the men of the city. Question, Ryan?
I was just going to ask, how does the pathak on the first syllable not also reduce to vocal shabak? Because I thought open propertonic syllables had to reduce.
How does the what now?
The pathak on
Here? Yeah, once I've done this division, okay, I've got a silent shabak, then my syllable divider is going to be here. So this now is closed, isn't it? So this open propertonic is what it was before I perform my operation. So you can forget about that now. Okay? This is now closed, and guess what? It's closed and unaccented. It requires what?
short vowel.
A short vowel. And looky here. My syllable rules are being followed, aren't they? Okay. Devarim. Devarim. Let's take a look at Devarim real quickly. This is words, right? Devarim. And what's going to happen to Devarim if I want to say something like the words of Yahweh, the words of Adonai? Can I leave the im like this? Nope. It's going to do what? Im changes to A. It becomes Canadian, eh? Very good. So, accent's going to be where? On Devare or Adonai? It's going to be over here. So the accent's going to be way over here. So, can I change this any further? Well, Sarah Yoda is historically long, right? But I notice the tones over here, the kametz of va is open and propertonic, right? Tonic, pretonic, propertonic, propertonic. What's going to happen to that? It reduces to what? Vocal shiva. And what happens when I have one vocal shiva followed by another vocal shiva? Red Rider problem. And I'm going to resolve it very easily by shooting out how many eyes? One, and this one becomes silent, right? So it's div re. Div re. So div re Adonai is the words of Yahweh. The words of Yahweh. Okay. Now, number 6. Real quickly. We're almost out of time, but we can knock this one out. Number 6 of Ross, we have Melech. Melech. What do you know about the word Melech? It is a Segalit noun. Accent on the first syllable. How committed to first syllable stress are Segalit nouns in the singular? They are super committed, aren't they? Remember, we always keep the accent on the first syllable in Segalit nouns, no matter what. When we add plural endings, will the first syllable stress remain? No, Melech became Malakim, right? But in the singular, Melech is so committed to first syllable stress that when I turn it into the construct form, oops, that's rounded. Melech Ha'ir, the king of the city, guess what? The accent is going to stay right here. This is the only time we will see the accent retained on the construct form, okay? Is in Segalit nouns in the singular, because in the singular, Segalit nouns must have first syllable stress, okay? Now, when, that's not in your text here, but here's what's going to happen. When I want to say the kings of the city and make this plural, I'm not going to keep first syllable stress anymore. I'm going to change Melech to Malakim, okay? So I go to my plural. So that's Malakim. But then can I leave the im there? No, we're going to make this the construct form. So it's not im, but a, right? Got to make it Canadian. This syllable is open and propertonic. Can I leave that there? No, it's going to reduce to a vocal shiva too. And then I've got to figure out what I do with two vocal shiva side by side, right? And here's the deal with Segalit nouns. You don't yet know why this is going to happen. All you know is that this is going to have to change, right? Normally, what do? You shoot out one eye, okay? But in the case of Melech, the short vowel I'm going to get is not a kirik. It's going to be a patak. It's going to be malke. Malke. Malke ha'ir. The kings of the city. Why does it become malke and not milke? Wait till we get to chapter 14. I'm sorry, wait till we get to chapter 15, and I will tell you all the secrets of the universe. Okay? But what you do know is that some short vowel is going to have to appear, and each singular noun, it might be slightly different, and you'll know why when we get to it. Yes?
Is there a reason why the cop doesn't get a dagesh? That we need to know.
Why the cough? Oh,
Because his doesn't.
yes. This is a special kind of shava that is a medial shava. Medial means in between. So it's somewhere in between being a silent shava and a vocal shava. It's silent enough to close the syllable, just open enough to make the dagesh leni go away. One of my old professors used to call this a political shava. The political shava licks its finger and sticks it in the air and says, which way is the wind blowing? Oh, I'm closed. Oh, wait a minute. I'll be open. No, closed. No. Right? Okay, so I'm silent, I'm vocal. So that's why there's no dagesh leni. Yeah. Real quickly, last thing is bane. The word for sun is bane like this. It's tonic and closed, right? But if I want to say the son of someone, I have to put it in the construct state. Hebrew will add a makef and then add the noun, who you're the son of, Bain David. And is this going to be stressed anymore with that makef? Nope. Will it still be closed?
Yep.
Yeah, but it won't be tonic anymore, will it? What rule does this have to follow if it's closed and the tone is way over here? It's going to follow the cuss rule. Is sere short or long? It's long, but cuss means I need a short vowel. So what am I going to put here? I actually have two possibilities. Usually you're just going to get one, but bane can become ben, or it can become bin with a kirik. But both of those are short I-class vowels. So Ben David or bin David. If you've ever heard of bin Laden, same word, the son of Laden. Okay, so there you go. Again, you didn't really need a whole new paragraph to tell you this. You know that if you ever put a makef next to bane, it loses its stress. It's got to become a short vowel, right? So everything we've done is just applying things you already know for the most part to a new situation, and it's called the construct state. All right.